Hey, are we live? Are we live? How do I know if we're live?
It says we're recording, so I'm assuming we
Okay,
are.
here we go. Namaste, everybody. It's so lovely to meet you and to see you. I've missed you all. I'm coming to you here live from Nashville, Tennessee. And Joni, you're in Vermont, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I'm Azrael and this is Joni, and we are here to talk about our amazing, exciting, and beautiful Spirit and Light retreat in Costa Rica on February 4th through 11th, 2023. And we'd love to share a little bit more about it. And of course, we would love for you to join us. It's going to be amazing. And yeah, so yeah, let's talk. And anyone that shows up or that's watching, feel free to answer any question, ask any questions you like in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. So, right now at this time, we're going through such a collective shift in consciousness and such a collective shift in the paradigm of just who we are and what we are. And, all of us have gone through such a crazy and wild 2 years, no matter, where we've lived on this world. And it's so beautiful now to come into a space where we can come into collected sacred community. And Joni and I, our intention for this retreat is for there to be a space of deep nourishment, of deep connection, and of allowing ourselves to really open to being a vessel for what both light, energy, and embodiment can flow into and through. It's going to be a retreat where we're going to, yes, open to some ancient practices of yoga and qigong and Ayurveda. And yet the fabric of the retreat and the energy of the retreat really is going to be of deep nourishment, of a settling and a regulation of the nervous system, and one of deep joy, a place where there's a lots of space to rest and restore, and lots of space to open into our hearts and really reflect and embrace that life that has sort of been stirring within us for the last 2 years, and that's really wanting to burst through and burst out into this new way of being. Yeah, sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it, Joni?
So ready for it. Can we
Yeah.
go tomorrow?
Yeah, so please, please. Yeah, it's time, right? It's time for us to come into a greater connection with our body and our bodies. And so the sacred practices of the yoga and the qigong, but in a place where we're coming into a welcome center with our bodies and not fighting against it or trying to become stronger or trying to do things right. Instead, again, opening to the vessel of the temple and being held by deep nature, deep, deep, deep nature. Joni spent some time at this retreat center last year. And yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience there and maybe any intentions you're bringing to the retreat as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You can feel the excitement. And just every time I think about taking a group and diving in deeper, I actually just came out of a weekend retreat, and I'm just in it's so powerful to be able to really drop in with a group. And so we're creating an experience here for a whole week, and it's in this really, really special place. And so I was there with my partner last year. We did a 10-day retreat, and a friend had invited us. We're like, sure, we'll go to Costa Rica. It sounds amazing. And it's like, oh, and then you have to travel a little further. And then you arrive in this place that's end of the road, empty beach, you're in the jungle. I'm like, whoa, what is this place? And we start to meet the people that have created and well, they only like held the space, and nature created really the space, but really connecting to the ones that steward the space and hold us in retreat. And it was just they really did all of that so much from their heart. It's really, really powerful, and you can really feel that. So you're walking to your cabin or your tiki tent through a food forest, and the yoga platform, the movement platform is a little bit above, so you've got the ocean and the mountain next to you and the sunset on that side. But I think for me, it was really being in nature. you're having lunch. I keep saying that as the example of like, oh, you're just having tea, you're having lunch, and there's like a macaw in the tree also having lunch, and there's a amazing hummingbird that comes to say hi because there's these flowers everywhere, and the toucans are just right over. And just you're really, really, it feels like the humans are the guests there, and it's so clear, like we get to just be like, hey, can we come hang out with you a little bit? So it is an eco lodge. It's really it's off the grid completely, so we get to really be off the grid and really unplug, and I think that makes it even easier to unplug because we're really there together. And I also noticed being there last time that it was really nice to have also a lot of free time. So we're going to create a container where there are all these like really amazing moments to connect, to go deep, and offer a variety of things, like some of them really with self and others with each other and with nature, but also a lot of time to just be. And I don't know why the hammocks are really comfortable there. So, time for integration, time to just really allow, I love that word, like just really allow and be in the moment and enjoy and take a swim. And yeah, I'm obviously in love with the place. I'm going back. And I'm just really, really excited about bringing people there because it feels really magical. It's in the realm of magic and mystical experiences for me. And so everything that Azrael you just said, as far as, intention, holding the space, and I hold a really attuned curiosity to what comes together of the group, like when I facilitate groups, there's a container, and as long as the container is good and strong and we create together, there's a sacred space that we create, and then group consciousness kicks in, and then other layers come together, so we get to co-create some of that together as well. So I think all of that and more, but it just feels so good to talk about it because I feel myself there, and I myself there with you. And what happened is I went and I was like, Azrael, did you want to do a retreat with me?
I was like, yes, immediately. And then my emotional wave said yes too. And it is, I think the, like you said, it's the co-creation and the co-creation of the space too. And I loved what you said about nature is what's holding the space. Like it's in tandem with nature, and then it's nature coming through us. And that alignment with nature where we can be nourished, we can play, we can rest, we can connect, and we can open to the co-creative flow of life as it's asking to move through us in a way that is very mystical, very magical, very held and sacred, and yet I want to say the words I keep saying is like, yet with no agenda of a have to, right? Like with space to breathe and to be free. And, for those of you that don't know, Joni and I have known each other for a long time now. I want to say like 5 years, like it's been a while. And so we've, had these beautiful, really close connections over time, and sometimes we come apart where we don't speak for a little while, but the energy is always very connected. And we, have this flow and this interface, and to be able to share together is such a joy and such an honor. And I love like just bringing, I don't know, this wisdom, right? Like both of us have lived in Canada, both of us have lived in the States. Till recently I was on the West Coast, so this West and East, right? And bringing just the divine, I would say, sacred intentions and presence and love into everything that we do, and to do it in such a held and beautiful space. I'm so excited for the fresh fruit juices. There's definitely a hammock with my name on it. And there's going to be a day we're going to like offer, like, not as part of the retreat, but as a choice, like we're going to like go into the jungle if we want, and like go to the national park and to eat yummy food and to dance and move our body a little bit, and to just to be in community and in life and love.
And enjoy and love. Yes. And enjoy, enjoy. And sometimes I feel like when you drop into these retreats, it's really powerful, and then you go home and it's really hard to reintegrate. And I really want to hold a strong intention to really create a super potent container from which it is easy to integrate after that. Going home with practices, but also I think, of having hosted so many events and retreats, like having found ways that there is a reentry always, but it feels that much softer and that much sweeter, and it just feels like it adds to the experience rather than the, oh my God.
Yeah,
So
totally.
giving
And
space for
setting that clear intention. And I think definitely, I totally agree with you. Of like coming back into our world, what can we take with the seeds that have been planted and blossomed here and allow them to grow, instead of like them to really be able to move into the flow of our life so that we walk with them. I want everybody to know we're going to be offering a question and answer session where you'll get a chance to know me and Joni more and hear more about the retreat, the center, how to get there, anything at all. And that's going to be on November 17th. It's going to be at 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific Time via Zoom. I'll be dropping the link and invite to that underneath this live video a little bit later today. So feel free to register. It's totally free. And we would just so love to have you there. I'll also be dropping the link to the retreat with all the info. To reach out with any questions you may have. We would love for you to join us.
Yes. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk today, and everyone taking the time to watch. And yeah, reach out if you have any questions. We're obviously very passionate about this. So let us know if we can find if it's a good fit for you to come spend time with us in Costa Rica.
And it is going to be amazing. And I promise you, it's also going to be life-changing as well. So in a good way. Okay.
That's what we're going for.
Yeah. Woo!
Transformation is where it's at. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
much love. Thank you, Joni, for joining me. And we'll see you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.